Hi, I'm Dan, co-founder of Essential Air Products and the inventor of the NovusAer air filtration system. I'm here to tell you why I invented this. In my 47 years as a heating and air conditioning contractor, I've seen a lot of air cleaning products. Some were really excellent, some were not any better than just plain old snake oil. And I discovered without the tools, it's really hard to tell the difference between the good products and the snake oil products. One thing I have noticed over the years is that one way to kind of tell the difference between snake oil and a real product is the snake oil products have never been tested in a real life scenario. They've only been tested in a laboratory. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't live in a laboratory test chamber. And so what good is that? So about 14 years ago, I learned about particle counters. And I started testing the products that I was installing and learned which were good and which were bad. So here's a typical laser particle counter that I use, and they're very simple. You simply turn it on and you measure the air going into it, and it counts how many particles are in the air. And then you measure the air coming out of it, and it tells you how many particles are in the air. And you do the math, and it tells you how efficient the filter is. A good laser particle counter like this one can measure down to the PM 2.5 level of nanoparticles. Now that's really small particles that you can't see, but the PM 2.5 particles are the ones that cause the most upper respiratory issues, cause people to have illnesses, okay? Another thing that would be helpful before I go on with this discussion is air filters are rated by a MERV system, minimum efficiency rating value, and MERV-16 is the highest rating value of the MERV system. And it can catch 95% of those particles that we just talked about, okay? So about the time I learned about laser particle counters, I also learned about a MERV-16 product that was really awesome. Not only was it truly a MERV-16 based on the measurements that I took, okay, but it also had really good airflow, which is very important because not only do we want to catch those fine particles, but we want to be able to move lots of air so that your heating and air conditioning system can work well, okay? So I started recommending these filters to my customers. There were two major issues with the filter that I was using. It was huge. And I'm not kidding, it was that big, okay? And so in order to get it to fit into a heating and air conditioning system, it took lots of renovations, expensive renovations in order to get it to fit. That was the first issue. The second issue was, even if we did lots of those renovations, there still wasn't room in the furnace room to put the air filtration system in. So the vast majority of the time, I couldn't sell this product to customers. And I was quite frustrated because I had customers who either really needed, for their health reasons, needed that clean air, or they've learned about the bad PM 2.5 particles and what they can do to your lungs, and they just wanted to have a clean environment. So that frustration led to me building and testing my own. And once I had the design down, and then I did my own testing, and I discovered that not only was it as good as the previous air filter that I was using, but it was actually better. I knew I was onto something, so I had this patent I applied for and received a patent for the NovusAer air filtration system. Now, I knew by my own testing in the field that my air filtration system was great. I would call it fantastic, okay? But customers aren't just going to believe me. And so I took this to an independent testing laboratory, specifically Blue Heaven Laboratories. They are an internationally renowned laboratory for testing air filters. And like I said, my goal was to at least get MERV-16, which would be 95% efficiency at those particles that we discussed. Well, my filter came in at 99.43. So, awesome laboratory results. I knew that I had a top-tier product, and that the wonderful thing about this is it fits in almost every single installation application. So in short, the reason why I invented the NovusAer air filtration system is that there isn't another system out there that will fit in almost every single home and deliver the kind of clean air that people deserve and want.